down on the south side of the parking lot for children ages 3 to 6 and their parents. Brought to you by Barb and John Liptak. Now remember, we've moved things around a little bit this year. In the garage, we've got the spark plug contest for those of you who think you can put a spark plug in and change it. And we've moved the gyros tent over here by the church hall. And even closer to the church hall is the food tent.
We are the Jazz Express from North Royalton Music Center. Most of the kids are from the surrounding communities. A lot of them take lessons at our store. This is what is produced from that. We are very pleased to be here again for either the 16th or 17th year in a row. This happens to be our oldest group that we've had. Many of them are upper middle school and lower high school. So our next one, since we have an older group, we're going to do a Harvard chart. All of you know it. It's In the Mood.
tell you, that was In the Mood with Glenn Miller's original arrangement. These kids are talented. This is the first year in a long time that they've actually been able to use the actual arrangements of Glenn Miller's band. In the Mood. Did you hear those box strads and the trumpet back there? I'll tell you a little story about North Royalton Music Shop here, brought to you by Sherry Haas and Holly McCarthy. We've got, this store was put together by their parents back in 1964. As a matter of fact, these two young ladies are actually graduates of St. Albert the Great School, and if you walk down the hallway, you'll see their pictures up on the board. I think it was a couple years ago, wasn't it? I've got Sherry over here. Was it 1 or 2 or 3 years ago?
The class of 1969.
There you go, the class of 69. Where were you in 69? I wasn't, I was in 6th grade or something like that. Back in the day when I wanted to play first chair in my high school band, and I also wanted to buy a motorcycle. My parents came to me and said, you know what, you got a choice. I worked at I'll tell you, it feels like 1939 and Charles Shaver's all over again. Let's talk to Holly over here, and hopefully I can avoid a little bit of feedback. Holly, how are these kids doing today?
Awesome.
Now, who do we have, and tell us a little bit about the group.
Well, I'm going to have them introduce themselves, tell us what city they're from, and all that good stuff. If you can do that, we'll start with the sax section, if that's all right.
Well, that sax section certainly put it out in the last song here, Undecided, music by Charlie Shavers, 1939. So here we go. Let's start with the sax section. I'll start down over in the baritone sax over here with the bass. Where are you from, and where are you coming from, and your name? Bobby Bird, and where are you from? Right here in North Royalton. Where do you go to school? I'm sorry? And what year are you over there at Royalton High School? He's going into sophomore year, and I'm going to hand it down. You guys just pass it down. Name and where you're from and what school you're going to. What grade?
I'm Josh Holland-Gosak from Medina, and I go to Highland High School.
Okay, and that's on the tenor sax.
Yeah, I'm Ethan Smith on the tenor sax, and I go to Highland High School too. I'm going to be a sophomore next year.
I'm Daniel Hagar. I play the bass clarinet. I live in Brunswick, and I'm going into 7th grade. I'm Raleigh. I live in Parma, and I go to Shiloh Middle School.
I'm Nick. I'm exactly like Raleigh. I come from Parma, and I go to Shiloh.
I'm Katie. I'm from Strongsville, and I go to Strongsville High.
I'm Taylor. I go to Brunswick, and I'm going to Edwards Middle School.
I'm Zane. I go to North Royalton Middle School, and I'm from North Royalton.
And that was on the tenor sax and the alto saxes, the bass sax and the bass clarinet and the baritone sax. We're going to do the trombones and trumpets and the rest of the group shortly, including our clarinetist. We'll get everybody. So anyway, let's take it away, Holly, with the next music number. Thank you. What is it? This is Killer Joe, written in 1958. There we go, by Benny Golson, arranged by Michael Sweeney. time around. And Holly, let me just mention briefly here, this organization was put together by your parents, and of course, Richard Ellick was the first band director at St. Albert's High School, isn't that correct?
St. Albert's School.
St. Albert's High School, St. Albert's School, come on, it's all the same. We all wish it was K through 12, but it's actually K through 8, we all know that. And if I stand here and I look a little bit off to my left, I can see Richard's wife, Ida Ellick, your mother, right over here. And there she is with a big broad smile on her face. Hello, Mrs. Ellick, how are you? There you go. Let's hear a round of applause for the Ellick family of Royalton Music Center. Let's come on over here and meet our trombonist. He says, hi, there we go. And sir, and where are you from? What grade you in? And how long you been doing what you've been doing?
I'm Ethan Summerfeld. I go to Parma High. I'm going into my junior year, and I've been playing for about 6 years now.
That looks like trombone 1 I'm seeing over here. And on the other backup trombone, we've got...
My name's Sam Kitzler. I look a little bit older than everybody else because I am. I actually I'm assisting directing the band this year. I work over at the music store.
That's great. Now let me move over here by our clarinetist. He's not actually brass, but he's playing trumpet parts in it because of B-flat clarinet, B-flat trumpet plays the same music, right?
I'm David Jansky. I go to Royalton High School and I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore, and that's a mean clarinet. I'm waiting to hear a little Benny Goodman out of you. Let's come on over here by our first trumpets. Okay, I'm looking at, who are you?
Katie.
Katie, what's your last name?
McCurdy.
And where do you go to school?
Bristol Ruby Heights High School.
And what grade?
Freshman.
Freshman, okay. And next to you over here is?
Lauren from Normandy.
Lauren what?
Smolensky.
Lauren Smolensky. These people think they're like Pele. They got one name.
I go to Normandy and I live in Seven Hills.
Seven Hills. And these bright silver trumpets, let's see, it looks like a box Stradivarius to me. Okay, here we go.
I'm Anna Marie Berg, and I'm a senior at Buckeye High, and pretty stoked to be here.
At which school?
Buckeye High School.
At Buckeye High School. There we go. Moving on down the line here.
Brian Long, and I go to North Royalton High School. I'm a sophomore.
All right, he's a sophomore, and here we have...
Nicholas Posada. I go to Highland Middle School and going into 7th grade.
All right, and over here.
For sure, I'm going into 8th grade at this school.
At this school? Which is this school?
St. Albert.
There we go. Let's hear it for St. Albert, the great school. Here we go. And for all these other young kids, we're going to be meeting the string, the percussion, and everybody else here in a little bit. But in the meantime, we're ready for Malaguena. A little bit of Spanish in your step. Okay, Holly, take it away. Okay, thank you, everybody. Now let's meet this keyboardist over here. What school and where are you going?
St. Albert's. Left this year.
She's in 6th grade, and I think she's soon to be playing the organ in the church with that kind of talent. Here we go, and playing bass, who do we have?
Adam Dolai. What grade? I'm in 8th grade at North Royalton.
At North Royalton Middle School. And over here playing lead guitar, what do we have?
Joshua Frazier. North Royalton High School. 9th.
Going into 9th grade or going into 10th grade? Going into 9th grade. And over here playing the, what do you call those?
Bongos and or congos. Katie. Assumption Academy. Assumption Academy. Landall.
All right, and again, playing over here on drums, who do we have?
I'm Dave Dickens. I'm a sophomore at Highland High School.
At Highland High School on the drums. And here we go. We're going to play a little impact zone here, although our first trumpet still is Malaguena up. And by the way, that song brought you over to the hills of Hidalgo, Guadalupe, Hidalgo. And I turn the mic over briefly here to Holly. And by the way, if you want to hear these children play again, they're going to be on July 25th, Friday at noon over at the Jog Lake Wild Water Kingdom. Tickets and discount tickets are available over at the North Royalton Music Center. Holly, what's up?
I wanted to tell you about the soloists here. Some of the solos that they are performing are ones that are written, and a lot of them are improv, where they make it up off the top of their heads. And we spend quite a bit of time talking about how they can do that. Now, our first selection was improv. The other ones have been ones that are written. This last one is back to improv again. So when you see them come up front, it's all off the top of their heads. They have not, every time they play, it's different. So our final selection today is Impact Zone.
Now, before we go over to the impact zone, if your child impacts his or her knee or elbow or something else needs a Band-Aid or somebody needs a little bit of treatment for a little extra sun, we've got a first aid tent here sponsored by North Royalton CERT. That's the Community Emergency Response Team. Let's hear it for the Royalton Music Store Jazz Express. That was great. A lot of improv and a lot of fun. Looks like everybody's having fun there. We've got one more comment here by the folks here from Royalton Music Center.
I would like to thank somebody personally in the audience right now. She's on the cell phone, probably trying to negotiate something else here. And Bobby Berg, this gentleman right here playing Barry sax, has been in the band for at least 4 years. 4 years, and his grandmother has been a great asset to us. She brought me a lovely girl in the back here, and that's Anna Marie. She plays trumpet. And I needed a helper this year, and Anna Marie was looking for a job, and plus she played the trumpet, and she's been an excellent helper. I would also again like to plug Sam, who introduced himself as working at Royalton Music Center, but he also has helped me out a lot with the band, making sure that all the parts are covered and being a great asset to the group as well. So I would like to thank Bobby Berg's grandmother, and Sam, and Anna Marie back there, and of course all the dedicated kids that have been with the group for a lot of years. I'll turn it back over to you, my sister, next, and we'll see you next year.
Did you mention how many rehearsals they've had? Okay, guys, just to let you know, most of these songs that they've not played before, and their original arrangements, they've rehearsed 10 times together as a band. So can you imagine that when you figure your kids in school, if they have, that's equivalent to 2 weeks of band class. So don't you think they're phenomenal? Let's hear it again.
All right, let's hear a rousing applause for the Jazz Express of the Royalton Music Center. You guys were great. Holly and Sherry, thank you so much for coming out. All you kids, great job. Okay, we're going to have the next act up shortly. In the meantime, I'd like to remind everybody that if you have a child ages 7 and up, join Barb and John Liptak over at the south end of the parking lot from 3 to 4 p.m. That's just about now. If you're 7 and up, go on over for kickball. And parents and